Let here respond. Niger State government to cultivate crops worth 5 billion naira for Lagos State. An IT expert says fifth generation and Internet of Things are key to economic growth. The Nigerian government tags flood prevention as national security priority. Good evening and welcome to Himma News at 5 with me, Nonanba Agabus Eridan. The Niger State Governor, Mohammed Umaru has been presented a 5 billion naira check by Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The check was presented to him at the launch of the 500 billion naira Produce for Lagos initiative held at the Lagos House, Alausa, Ikeja. The 5 billion naira check is for the cultivation of rice, yam and beans under a strategic partnership aimed at enhancing food security and agricultural productivity. The Produce for Lagos Agricultural Initiative also aligns with the renewed Hope agricultural agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to enhance agricultural output through interstate collaboration in food production. The Niger State Governor, Mohammed Umaru was also applauded by various speakers at the event, which was witnessed by many eminent personalities for his unwavering commitment to the transformation of agriculture through mechanization, which they said would transition the country from poverty to prosperity. Governor Umaru in a fireside chat, highlighted the potential of the state, especially in the area of agriculture. To ensure and guide effective implementation and track progress, a joint steering committee will be established with equal representation from both states, even as a program delivery office will be formed to coordinate daily implementation with aggregators, farm developers, and logistics operators. The Niger State government, also through Niger Food Security Systems and Logistics Limited, has signed a 1.8 trillion naira guaranteed paddy rice production and offtake agreement with Dangote Rice Limited. The agreement was signed at the office of the president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, in Lagos. According to the agreement, Niger Foods will supply high-quality paddy rice to Dangote Rice Limited to foster sustainable agricultural development and food sufficiency in Nigeria. Speaking on the agreement, the chairman of Niger Foods, Sami Adigun, said Niger State is required to develop 25,000 hectares of commercial rice farms and support 50,000 local farmers. He disclosed that the partnership is for 10 years and will create 50,000 direct jobs, adding that the agreement will enable the state to utilize water from the rivers Niger and Kaduna, as well as other water sources, to boost rice production in the state. The president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, explained that the signing of the agreement culminated in a series of discussions aimed at promoting food production and ensuring food sufficiency in Nigeria. Dangote said the success of the partnership would reassure local rice farmers not to abandon paddy rice farming, as there is a guaranteed offtake of any quantity produced. The Niger State Governor, Mohammed Umar Bago, expressed delight and reassured that the state is poised to feed Nigeria. He said his administration understands the comparative advantage of water and arable land that the state has over its counterparts and will leverage that to promote agriculture and its entire value chain, as well as create employment opportunities. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, said that the state food economy, which was 6.5 trillion naira yearly before 2019, is now 16.14 trillion naira. Sanwo-Olu, who gave the hint during the official launch of the Produce for Lagos program and the 500 billion naira offtake guarantee fund, added that Lagos is Nigeria's largest food market, consuming over 50% of the food traded in the southwest. According to him, research has also revealed that the state loses nearly 50% of its food between harvest and the market, largely due to poor storage and inefficient transportation. The governor noted that after the implementation of several programs and projects in the food and agriculture sector, the Produce for Lagos program is the next logical step in its roadmap, expressing optimism that the program would provide guaranteed offtake contracts, access to financing, and logistics support, connecting Lagos residents directly with the state's dynamic food economy. Besides, he said that the initiative would also boost agricultural production, reduce reliance on informal and uncoordinated supply channels, create jobs for youth, and increase economic returns for all ecosystem stakeholders. Sanwo-Olu added that the program would be implemented through the Lagos Food Systems Infrastructure Company and supported by key special purpose vehicles like the Lagos Bulk Trading Company, Ecoloc, and the Produce for Lagos Fund. Sugar is one of the commodities used in food on a daily basis. When converted into glucose, sugar becomes the primary source of energy for every cell in the body. People and industries use sugar either from corn or sugarcane, and according to a Harvard Medical School online publication, because the brain is so rich in nerve cells or neurons, it is the most energy-demanding organ, using 1/2 of all the sugar energy in the body. But is there a limit to the amount of sugar an individual should take, and what type of sugar is preferable for human consumption? Let's have this report. Countlessly sounded warnings against the intake of high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, which is about 55% fructose, a type of sugar. According to a report reviewed by Atley Anderson, it takes the human body more steps to break down fructose compared to glucose, which means it takes the body a lot of work and time to fully break down this particular type of sugar, adding that high amounts of this sugar can lead to serious health issues. Recently, the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., was among several global health advocates who criticized the use of high fructose corn syrup and partially blamed it for the rising obesity epidemic in the US. A lecturer with the Kano State College of Nursing Sciences, Madobi Campus, Madobi Local Government Area, Salisu Alhatu Kwankwaso, shed more light on the difference between the two types of sugar.
All these beverages we consume in our daily lives contain some certain degree or certain amount of a sweetener, which this sweetener can have a direct effect to the taste and nutritional content of such beverages. And most likely, the common sweetener they use in making such beverages is what we call high fructose corn syrup, which is derived from cornstarch. And this sweetener composed of glucose and fructose molecules. While, in United States of America, this high fructose corn syrup became a popular choice in the 1970s due to government subsidies for corn growers and high import tariffs on cane sugar, which is more health-wise than using high fructose corn syrup. When broken down, this high fructose corn syrup, they carry similar molecules with that of cane sugar. This cane sugar carry a molecules we call sucrose, which is a combination of two molecules, the fructose and the glucose. The parting ways is one should understand this high fructose corn syrup, as soon as you consume it, this glucose will now directly enter or be absorbed into the bloodstream. While for the cane sugar, the sucrose needs to be broken down into the glucose and fructose before absorption. So this process of breaking down the sucrose into the glucose now make it more slower, or make it to have a more slower effect in increasing blood sugar levels. That is as compared to the high fructose corn syrup. And it is believed this cane sugar to be more natural. It is also believed to be more slowly digested. And this will now decrease its impact in causing some certain metabolic disorders to those consuming such products.
The US President Donald Trump said recently that Coca-Cola has agreed to use cane sugar in its US cola, which currently relies on high fructose corn syrup as a sweetener, and described the cane sugar version as better. However, experts like Avery Zenker, a registered dietitian, said despite minor differences in chemical structure and metabolism, both cane sugar and high fructose corn syrup have similar health impact when consumed in excess, especially in the form of sugar-sweetened beverages like sodas, adding that moderation should be the watchword for consumers. You are listening to Himma News at 5. Please stay tuned for more stories. Thank you for staying with us. An IT and cybersecurity expert, Olatunde Olasehan, says that Nigeria's next phase of economic growth could be powered by fifth-generation 5G technology and the Internet of Things (IoT), but only if the country addresses key barriers such as infrastructure gaps, affordability, and cybersecurity. In an opinion article, Olasehan argues that while early 5G rollouts in Lagos and Abuja show promise, especially in areas like smart traffic management and industrial automation, the real impact lies in applying these technologies across sectors such as agriculture, healthcare, logistics, and education. He noted that agriculture, which employs more than 1/3 of Nigerians, could benefit from IoT-powered sensors that monitor soil and climate conditions, optimize irrigation, and reduce crop losses. Similarly, 5G-enabled telemedicine and remote health monitoring devices could help close healthcare access gaps in Nigeria's underserved rural regions. However, he warns that several obstacles threaten to limit adoption, adding that many rural areas still lack broadband infrastructure and steady electricity. The federal government has elevated flood prevention to the level of a national security priority with the unveiling of a new anticipatory action framework on floods AAFF to shift the country's disaster management approach from reactive to proactive, coordinated early response. This was as the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency warned that over 100 major roads, including the Okene, Lokoja, Abuja, and Birnin Kebbi Bunza corridors, may face severe flood disruption across 28 states and the Federal Capital Territory before August 5th. The AAFF, developed by the Anticipatory Action Task Force, AATF, features a blend of a scientific and traditional data gathering methods, early warning triggers, and a consolidated budget designed to build resilience in flood-prone states and communities across the country. Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima received the draft framework and consolidated budget on Wednesday at the presidential villa, Abuja. Emphasizing that disaster management must be approached as a matter of national security, he urged stakeholders to adopt a scientific, preventive mindset. The National Security Advisor Nuhuri Badu echoed the urgency of early response, warning that while natural disasters were often beyond human control, preparation and response determine the scale of the impact. The alert, signed by NISA's Director General Umar Mohammed, disclosed that at least 739 communities and 162 local councils were at high risk of flooding during the period. The agency called on emergency management stakeholders to activate preparedness and response protocols while advising residents in high-risk areas to implement evacuation plans without delay. And now to end the news, the headlines once again. Niger State government to cultivate crops worth 5 billion naira for Lagos State. Also, an IT expert says fifth generation and Internet of Things are key to economic growth. Lastly, the Nigerian government tags flood prevention as national security priority. On behalf of the Himma News and Current Affairs Department, I am Agabus Eridan. Good evening once again.